Hello and welcome to another episode of Swim Sets by the Pool. This is the only podcast where you can get free swim workouts every single week and tips from pro triathletes. Me, Nathan Cohen, and pro triathlete Greg Harper. How you doing?
I'm great. That was a great intro. They're the only podcast on the planet. Just free workouts? People pay
Yeah,
me $1,000 for swim workouts. So, I mean, that's a good deal. I guess you guys are getting out there.
it is a pretty good deal, I must say. And we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, so like you literally have no excuse. You can listen to us anywhere, on the plane, on the train, anywhere, man.
Yeah, and if you really did some of these workouts that we vet for you and implemented them in swim, you will get faster at swimming. And just for some variety, you got a workout to bring to a group that you're going to, and
Hmm.
yeah, we'll put you through some things maybe you're not used to, and you'll get better. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, anyway, we both are pro triathletes, and I raced Michael Phelps once, so we know what we're talking about. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think. I'm going to the 70.3 World Champs here in about a month. I feel like it's the biggest race of my life, but I'm like, oh, I also raced Michael Phelps once.
That's pretty
Although he
big.
was he was had a beard and didn't care, and it was a one-sided, I'm like, oh, this is a big race for me. And he was like,
Yeah, yeah.
what? This is a random race. So I think I have to say that the biggest race of my life is in 1 month. What do you think?
It is the World Championship, so that's pretty big. I mean, US Olympic trials is very competitive. I
Yeah,
would
I guess it
say
wasn't
it's,
super big for me because I just wasn't going to make the Olympic team.
yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's a different standard there, but
Yeah,
it's like apples to oranges though. I think
true.
both races are big, both you got stories to tell. I think one you definitely have a better shot at being the fastest swimmer there
Yeah, that's
than
for
the other
sure.
one.
Well,
But
since
yeah.
we're talking about racing and things, the season's kind of winding down for a lot of people, especially in the northern hemisphere. Um, so my quick tip is this winter, just try to improve your 100 freestyle time.
Mm,
I think that, in winter, people think, oh, I'll log the miles and stuff. And I think that is right, maybe on bike and run. And you can still swim a lot, but I think you should focus on the speed this winter so you can kind of raise that ceiling. So when you add all the aerobic work next year, you can, your threshold can be higher, your tempo effort can be higher. So really try to, find out what your 100 best time is. If you don't know it, do one and then train for 4 weeks and then try to do another and try to get your best 100 time. I think that'll play a much bigger role in improving your swim than, yeah, a lot of people give it credit for.
yeah, and I would add to that, do not wear your watch to time yourself. There will be someone else at the pool. Just hand them your phone and just be like,
Yeah.
hey, this will take like a little over a minute or whatever, a minute more or less. Just press start and stop on the stopwatch feature and like have them time you, so you
Yeah.
don't have to
Or
think about anything. Just,
and then hopefully there's a clock. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. But even your phone, like you can press start on your phone and put it on the side of the pool and then go
exactly.
under at the 10 and then when you come in, right? And if it
Exactly.
takes you a second to see it, then you can subtract. So yeah, no starting and stopping of the watch. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
We'll allow you to subtract 1 second if you do that with your phone to not use your watch. But yeah, that's a great tip. And the set we have today is a pretty classic club triathlon swim set. This is from the beautiful Santa Barbara, California. If you guys haven't been there, it's amazing. The weather's perfect all year round. And they got the beach, they got the waves, and they got a bunch of triathletes. So they warm up with the 200 fist swim, which is interesting. And then a 200 kick, and then a 200 swim. So that's a 600 warm up for this set. Greg, talk to me.
Well, we had a set from them before, and I think it started with the 200 fist.
I think
So
so, yeah.
this coach, yeah, I don't know, it is a little bit old school, but they like starting with the 200 fist. Yeah, I mean, I think breaking it up into 50s or something like that, and doing it maybe towards the end of warm up would be, yeah, more beneficial. Or like you swim, or maybe you go fist and then you go swim, then you go fist and you go swim. But I mean, in the end, they just get into a 200 fist. It's like, man, I kind of respect it, honestly, even though I probably would never do it.
Maybe they do it because when they jump in the pool, they jump in fist first, like Superman,
Yeah,
just fists out, and that's like how they
they,
get hyped for practice. Just
yeah,
Superman it
we
into the
don't
pool.
we don't know the context of it all, but yeah, I mean, I think doing a 200 swim, then 200 kick, and then maybe doing like 450s as 25 fists, 25 swim is probably a more reasonable and like measured approach to it.
Yeah, I
And
would
then you
agree.
can, because you can do the fist and then go right into the swim. Like, okay, cool. And then do the fist and then go right into the swim. Like we always say, you do a little drill, you do a little swim, and the fist drill is trying to, you know, you're trying to set a good catch without your hand. Feel water on your forearm and through your armpit. So, yeah, I like the drill. I mean, fist, it is kind of old school, but um, yeah, doing the fist into the swim. So yeah, maybe we go 200 swim, 200 kick, and then 450s, 25 fists, 25 swim. I think would be
That
a
sounds
little
good.
bit better.
Yeah, swap it around. Actually, when I swam the mile for Ventura College, go Pirates, um, the previous guy who just graduated and swam the mile, he was like at the pool one day, and I was just like, so like, what do you do for your warm up? Because like this is when I was like just like starting competitive swimming. I didn't swim in high school or anything, and he was like, I do a bunch of fist drill, and he was way faster than me, so I just was like, I guess I'm doing fist drill now. But you got to have your fist tight. Don't be all
Yeah,
loosey goosey with it. It's really like Greg was saying, it's about feeling the water on your forearm and that kind of stuff and keeping your wrist straight. It's like, yeah, you don't want to be bending your wrist, doing anything weird like that. If you're watching the
yeah,
YouTube video, you can see exactly what I'm doing. You don't want to do
yeah,
that. Just keep it nice and straight.
yeah. And like when you're pulling regularly, like your fingertip to your elbow should all be on the same like whole plane. If
Hmm.
your wrist, if it's like a couple degrees, your hand is down, that's okay. But it's really, yeah, pretty much straight from elbow to fingertip. Because, really is that's the anchor of our stroke. You know, if you can time that good catch with a hip drive and the other arm throwing forward and that down kick, and you time all that together, that's power in swimming. And it starts with that anchor of a catch. So the fist is trying to be like, hey, if we can set an anchor without a hand, imagine how good that anchor will be when you have a hand. So
Yeah,
I like the idea of it all, but yeah, I think how we changed it around is probably a little more reasonable.
definitely. And then it goes kind of into a little preset. So 8 times 50s descending 1 through 4, 5 through 8. It says base plus 15 and then base plus 10. So whatever interval you like can comfortably do a 50 on and then like a little bit more rest. But then the second round is a little bit less, which you're warming up. So kind of maybe we'll get your heart rate up a little bit, taking that less rest. You don't have as much recovery, which I think is cool.
I think I do swim workout. I write swim workouts like on the weekend yesterday. I think I wrote 850s, descend 1 to 4, 5 to 8 through for someone as like kind of a little preset. Sometimes I'll give like percentages like descend 1 to 4 to 80%, descend 5 through 8 to 90. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, yeah, you're just kind of priming the system. Like you want the heart rate to get up a bit. So you're ready. So yeah, I mean, in terms of a preset, and then the interval's a little tighter on the second one. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty
Yeah.
solid. Um, and it goes right into 425's variables. Which is kind of the changing of the speed at halfway, half easy, half fast, half easy, all fast. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think those two together is a pretty solid set to kind of get you primed and ready for whatever's coming.
Yeah. Which what's coming doesn't really, I mean, there may have been more explanation. I'll give them that. Like they may have the coach on deck probably like gave a little bit more specificity, but it's just 3 times 675s holding like at your base interval plus 10 and then 200 at a moderate effort. So you do that 3 times, which I don't know. What do you think? You think they're doing the 75s all same effort or?
I mean, it says hold pace, so I feel like pace it's like strong,
Hmm.
like pace work in the pool is like, oh, pace, like you're doing 200 or 500 type pace.
Yeah.
So, 675 is like pretty strong with okay rest and then into like a 200 more like steady, moderate.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's solid actually. I think it's pretty good. But yeah, we would want a little more context, but that's kind of what I'm hoping the coach was saying, I
Yeah.
guess.
I think another way you could do this if you're trying to incorporate a little bit more like speed in and like changing the gears. Um, because I think triathletes they just swim a lot at like medium, you know?
Medium. Yeah.
Just medium, which I mean, I get the thought process behind it. Like a lot of people do 70.3s, a lot of people do like Olympic distance tries where you're swimming for kind of a long time continuously. And it's not like you're swimming all out, you know, because it's like 20 plus minutes for an Olympic for most age groupers and like 30 plus minutes for like a 70.3 for a lot of people. So I think a lot of people see the swim in a triathlon as just a warm up for like the bike and the run. But like Greg said, I think he posted this study, like there's a direct correlation between fast 100 times and fast Ironman swim times. Like people who can swim a fast 100 can often swim a fast Ironman. So yeah, I don't know. I think a good way to mix this one up is maybe doing like 175 at like a smooth or moderate effort. And then you could do 175 build, 175 fast. And fast is like whatever fast is for you, you know, but it's
Yeah.
definitely not medium, you know. And then you could do that like twice. So it's 675s. You do one smooth, one build, one fast. And then you do that 2 times.
Yeah. And that's super similar to like descending, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that too. And just because people on number three will go a little bit out of their comfort zone, and on number six, they'll go a little out of their comfort zone, which is what we kind of want. But if you
Hmm.
just say 675, oh, hold that pace, then they probably might fall back into that medium. So, I mean, that's such a smart thing you said about them defaulting to the medium, because that's my whole gripe sometimes with swim coaches or try coaches. It's like you have to force them to get out of their comfort zone on paper, keep them engaged, or else they'll just swim blah. Like I'm just going to the pool to just to swim medium, but you have to be intentional with how you're writing it. Because how you do it in your head, like if someone says, "Hey, Greg, do 75s, hold pace," I'd probably get after it. I'd do the pace, but
Hmm.
I'm just so in tune with that because I've been swimming every day for 30 years. But if you're not, it's like you have to apply that direction, and that coach has to be aware of how the swimmers will perceive the set. So I think you're really spot on with that.
Yeah. And I also like the idea of just, I call it like changing through the gears, you know, in your swim, because when you just swim medium all the time, you just have like one speed, you know, or like two speeds, easy and then
Hmm.
fast, you know, or like medium and fast. And this will like kind of help you. And like building, you could start like that first 25, just do it easy and then go solid like the second one and then go like fast, like maybe even faster than when you swim that whole 75 fast, you know? You can sandbag
Totally.
it. You can sandbag those first two 25s and then just rip the last one past your friends.
And it's like it's not even sandbagging, it's like I swam at UC Berkeley, Cal, and some of the best sprinters on the planet were there. If it's easy, these people are going twice, they're going half the speed as they're fast. It's not like, yeah, I feel like people get in the pool, they kind of swim like medium. It's like it's all this kind of medium, and master swimmers do this all the time too. But it's like when I get in the pool and I'm warming up, people that I'm going to crush in 20 minutes are going faster than me, right?
Hmm.
But it's like I'm going easy because you build into it, and it's that same thing. If it's a 75 or it's build, I'm going to start super slow. I'm also going to finish really fast. I'm not just going to start easy medium and finish sort of medium hard. Like it's going to be a massive change, and that's the whole point, like shifting through those gears. We want to have like 10 different speeds. It's like a car. You don't get a two-speed car anymore. Like that wouldn't be fun to drive. We got
Yeah.
six and eight, and I don't even know. Race cars probably got 10 gears, just like our bikes, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's important. So yeah, if we do that with the 75s and you kind of change the pace, and then you go into like a 200 kind of moderate, like it's a
Yeah.
settle.
Yeah.
You speed and then you settle, and I think that's an effective way to change. And one more thing, if you go fast, swimming that moderate pace, you might surprise yourself with how fast you go. But if you just swim moderate, hey, I'm going to do 120s. That's my moderate. But if you go 105 pace before and then you settle at moderate, oh wait, my
Hmm.
moderate's actually 117. Like, you can kind of trick yourself into swimming faster on those like easier reps sometimes too.
Yeah. It's amazing what swimming actually fast and then like doing a more like easy effort will do to you, like do to your pace. It's really incredible.
Hmm.
Like I do that a lot and it almost, yeah, it's weird. It like tricks you into swimming faster because when you're swimming fast, like and your times are getting faster, it means you're swimming more efficient, you know, and you're like moving through the water. So it's like you kind of can hold on to that. It's like when you push off the wall, you push off the wall, that's the fastest you're going to be while you're swimming. And if you can just hold that for a couple strokes and then a couple more and then a couple more, like that's how you build and get faster over time. So yeah.
And efficiency is the name of the game because we're in water. Like it's
Hmm.
every little inefficient thing you have makes way, that's why the paces are drastically different between people because now if you were to push the same amount of watts on a bike and you have different positions, yeah, you'll go different miles an hour, but it's not going to be twice as fast for the same amount of power. But in the pool, inefficient people can be putting down a lot of power, and I can put down that power and go twice as fast. Or great swimmers, right? Because the pool, it just there's so much resistance.
Yeah.
So that like we say, speed is efficiency, and speed should be your friend. That's how the best milers in the world and the best 10K open water swimmers, they're all so fast in 100.
Yeah. And just because you see me on my Instagram biking around in a long sleeve loose shirt and a handlebar bag, you never see me do that in a race because it's so
Yeah,
much less efficient? And you never see a pro just like in a loose, baggy shirt during a race, just be like, oh, I just wanted to try it out today? But it's like water is so much more dense than air that it's
yeah.
like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, anyways. So I think that's a pretty good main set. And then after they just do 2 by 200 pull. They say easy pull. I would just, I don't
Like
know.
me, I say like steady or like,
Yeah, like
if
steady
you're,
or
and
smooth.
if
Just
you
be
do a
really
harder
smooth.
set, yeah, and if you do a harder set before, you might feel kind of good after. You don't have to go easy. Like easy
Yeah.
paddles doesn't build strength. Like
Hmm.
you have to swim medium effort or pretty solid effort for like that paddle to, yeah, build strength.
Yeah.
And then it's a 200 warm down. So yeah, I mean 200s pull. Yeah, maybe make the second one faster than the first, and then 200 warm down.
Yeah.
That'd be a good ending.
I think that's good. And yeah, the whole reason like we didn't change the set too much, like we kind of kept the general structure the same, but it's just that little tweak of working on those different paces that will hopefully keep you guys more engaged when you do this set. Because I mean, a lot of us we swim on our own? Like it's just the way it is, especially like coming up on winter for us in the Northern Hemisphere. You do a lot of swim sessions by yourself, so it's good to keep it a little spicy. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And working through it with the clock too, like, oh, I went 112 on that third 75. I'm gonna try to go 111 on like you gotta play games with yourself in your head to, keep yourself occupied, not bored, and you'll get better because of it. If you have a watch that says, okay, in 10 seconds, we're swimming a 75 at 112, it's like, no, like swim the pace that feels good. Don't let some watch or something dictate how you're gonna swim in that day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Okay. Well, I've got a ridiculous hot take for you guys. This is something I don't feel like real swimmers need to know. And I feel bad saying real swimmers, but it's kind of the truth, to be honest. Like Greg said in a previous episode, some triathletes are not taking their swim to the pro level. So this is work on your reaction time. This like
Hmm.
won't just help your swim start, and this is mostly for pros, but this is for age groupers too. Reaction time can help you in many aspects of your race. Obviously, for like college swimming, you want to have a fast reaction time off the block, especially if you're swimming a 50 or like 100 or anything. Like that's where the race could be won or lost is like some people's starts. And now in pro triathlon, we're seeing a little bit different of a start procedure at these world triathlon races. And some people just like they're losing positions,
Or
right at the
bad.
start because they don't react to the horn. Um, I mean, I've seen it on Instagram a lot lately because people just aren't used to this new start procedure where it's a random start. And then like you see people already taking 2 steps on the beach and someone still stood there on the line. And it's like, man, you're just setting yourself up to fail from the bat. So if you're a pro, work on your reaction time. And I mean, there's plenty of ways you can like look online on how to improve your reaction time. I think Formula One drivers do all this insane stuff to work on it. Like do like one of the things that they do to like practice your reaction time. But yeah, it'll help you on the bike too if like something sketchy happens. Like I know in age group races, like people crash a lot at U-turns and things like that. So if you have a good reaction time, that could be the difference between you going down or not.
True. I mean, even if you're a pro, like say you're a pro Ironman athlete and you're on the bike, like a two loop course, like age groupers are gonna just dart out at you anyway. You gotta like
Hmm.
react to it. I mean, so yeah, it's not always safe out there, and it could help on that. And you could kill two birds with one stone and practice a reaction off the blocks and do some starts with friends. It's like get a real swimmer, have someone set you off, and then realize how far you are behind, and then you can try to improve, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's just a good skill to have. I mean, it's one of those little details that could have high consequence, because like you never know what could happen in a race. Like anyone can dart out in front of you, anything can happen. But yeah, swim starts for pros. If you're not working on that reaction time, setting yourself up to fail. That's my hot take.
Love it.
Sweet. Well, that's all we got for you guys today. If you want more swim sets, you can listen to any of our previous 20 plus episodes. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Subscribe to us, you guys. Follow us on Instagram, and you're going to get faster at swimming. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, and if you do one of our sets or something, like tag Nate or me on Instagram too. You could tag the swim sets on the pool too, but like we don't do that much on that. So like maybe just
Yeah.
tag one of us. Yeah, we want to see. Yeah, we'll
Hmm.
give you a shout or something, and yeah.
Yeah.
So
And send us your swim sets too. If you have your own swim set or you get a swim set online or from your coach or something, like send us your swim set and we can talk about it and let you know what we think. Yeah, thanks for listening, you guys, and see you on the next one.
cheers later.